Guitar Will Travel, presented by Vintage Guitar Magazine, with your host, me, James Patrick Regan, otherwise known as Jimmy from the Deadlies. And today I'm speaking with guitarist and band leader Dyer Davis. In our conversation, Dyer talks about his new album, Kiss the Ring, and a guitar that he designed that's built by Sunland Guitars, and his beloved Gibson ES 335, as well as the rest of his guitar collection, which includes a few Rickenbackers after his love of the Beatles. Dyer tells us about his guitar trading experiences and his experiences restringing his Rickenbacker 12-string, and he also discusses his amps, pedals, and wireless. Dyer takes us through his musical influences throughout the years and his musical experiences at home and what got him to where he is now. And finally, Dyer talks cars. To find out more about Dyer and see his tour dates, you can check out his website at dyerdavismusic.com. That's DYERDAVISMUSIC.com. Please subscribe, like, comment, share, and most of all, review this podcast, please. I'd really appreciate it, and please support Vintage Guitar Magazine and all the wonderful things they do for us guitar players, because they do so many wonderful things for us guitar players. Here's my buddy Dyer. There you are.
See if this works. How are you?
Good. How are you? It's nice to meet you.
Absolutely, man. Likewise.
Yeah, and I love the album, especially the opening track. Sounded like Motorhead, like blues Motorhead.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it, I got to say.
Yeah. What guitar is that you just picked up?
So this is a Sunland Stella. This is a guitar that I designed about 2 years ago that we actually built and finished earlier this year. Actually working on a second one right now to take on the road as a backup.
Right on.
But it's a compound CV neck shape that is exactly the same thickness as my 335.
Right on.
So it's like less than an inch. It's real skinny. And then the heel blows up into this kind of boat hole thing.
Yeah.
I like the way the Les Paul feels at the 15th fret. So this, I get that at the top fret.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's got carbon fiber in the neck, and it stays in tune.
Yeah.
Every single time I leave it in the vault, man, and it weighs less than 7 pounds. It's a killer.
Yeah. And once again, so you designed it, but who made it?
Eric Olvin from a company called Sunland Guitars.
Okay. And are they in Florida too?
Yes, sir.
All right on. Right on.
Yeah, man. He's a great friend of mine and a really great builder. He does all these per order, and he does them completely by hand carves the top. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Is it your main guitar, or are you using that 335 as your main guitar?
So the 335's been retired.
Oh, no.
She was my main guitar for 11 years.
Wow.
And I made my entire career off of her. And I just was kind of looking at her one day, and I was like, man, hasn't had a headstock break. She's been completely beat down on the road. She's already like 30 years old. She's from 1995. So I was like, all right, well, if I don't want this thing to get broken, so she stays home.
Okay.
And so I designed this so that way I could have something that would be absolutely indestructible and play like my 335 and sound like my Les Paul Jr.
Yeah.
And we knocked it out of the park, man. It's killer.
Right on. And
super.
You're in Nashville right now, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because your tour is starting tonight?
Yeah, so this is the second leg of the Kiss the Ring tour.
Oh, right on. Right on.
Tonight is the first show of it at Bourbon Street Blues in down Printers Alley in Nashville.
Yeah.
And then we leave here tomorrow, and we drive to Pennsylvania to play Steel Stacks in Bethlehem, and then carnage ensues, man. We continue on, you know.
Right on. And so is Kiss the Ring your second album or the first album?
Second one. So Dog Bites Back was the first record, and I put that out with a label called Wild Roots Records. And it did really well, man. It came out, debuted at number 6 on Billboard, and
wow.
Made the cover of Blues Blast magazine with it. And it's a good record, man. But I bought myself out from the Wild Roots label, started my own, and this record is 100% written by me, 100% produced by me, which Dog Bites Back was not.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to continue on this path for a while. It feels pretty good.
Yeah, right on. That's great. That's fantastic. You mentioned that you've had the 335 for 11 years. You don't look old enough to have had that guitar for... When did you start playing guitar?
I started playing when I was 4.
Wow.
And I started when I was in like middle school. I started getting really into like selling and trading and stuff like that. And I ended up with, my dream guitar was a Rickenbacker because I'm such a Beatle nut. And I was like, and I was given a Rickenbacker 330 Maple Glow as a gift.
Wow.
And I was like elated about it. I was like, oh my God, I've wanted one of these my whole life. And I had it for like less than a year. And I was like, dude, this is not doing it. And I had met Mike Rock, who was a guy, and I'm still very enthusiastic about Rickenbackers. I love them.
Yeah.
But, to dog on them on the road is not, it's just not, they won't do it.
No.
So I had a buddy of mine named Mike Rock, who was the vintage guitar buyer for Sam Ash Music Stores.
Okay.
And I met him, and I called him up, and I said, hey, man, I want a red 335. Can you find me one? And he's like, yeah, I'll dig one up for you. So he found one for me like 2 weeks later in Newark, New Jersey.
Wow.
And had it sent down to the Sam Ash in Orlando, Florida on Lee Road, and went down there and picked it up, and my feet never touched the ground. And I traded the Rickenbacker for it, obviously. And I was kind of like, I don't know that I'm happy with doing this, because, it was the best trade deal ever, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I built an entire career on it, and I still use it on all the records. So. Sure.
Yeah. And what else is in your guitar collection there?
Well, I've gone through a lot of stuff because, like I said, I bought and sold and trade for a while, and so I've had all kinds of stuff, and stuff that I just thought was going to be easy flips. So I had like PRSs and things like that. I'm really not a PRS fan at all. But I knew that I'd be able to offload them because there's plenty of people that are.
Oh, yeah.
So right now I've got probably down to 15 working guitars that I use between sessions, playing on other people's stuff or my own, and taking it on the road. So I don't have any Fenders. I've got a Strat that I'm about to get rid of, and a that I built, and a Esquire that I built that I'm still not done with yet. Just kind of trying to tweak it. And then I've got my 335. I have a Les Paul Jr. that's in my vault on the bus as we speak. That is my backup throughout the whole tour. If that one gets sold when I get home, so that way I can pick up another one of these bad boys. And then I have another Sunland called a DD3, which was my first guitar that they ever did for me. And I use that for one song. It's tuned to Open G. I use it for slide. But I've got a few things. I have a Rickenbacker 360-12 that I ended up acquiring later, and
how do you like changing the strings on that?
It's about the worst thing on the planet. The sixth string is bad enough, frankly, and it all comes down to that tailpiece. This itty bitty tailpiece with that R in the middle of it.
Yes.
And I have had absolutely catatonic meltdowns over that on multiple occasions. But, yeah, man, there's a company called Winfield, which is the only company that makes quality aftermarket Rickenbacker parts. And the trick to do is to go get one of the C60 312 string tailpieces so you can not have to fight with that.
Yeah.
That fixes the problem at the bottom. And once you get used to stringing the top of it up and figuring out what goes in and what goes on the regular pegs, it's not that bad, but the learning curve is substantial and very frustrating.
Sure.
For sure. But yeah.
And what are you using for amps?
So I have a orange. I was using Bugaras before. I had a couple Bugara V22s.
Yeah.
That were really great amps, man. I got a tone that I was super stoked about from them, and they're really durable. And I had two of those that I was going out with, but I had an older one and a newer one, and they both sounded completely different from one another.
Sure, yeah.
And I was like, well, this is kind of useless. So I went back to British amps because I grew up playing on Vox, and I really loved them.
Oh, right.
And so now I have a orange Tiny Terror that I use as my main, and then my backup is a Micro Terror. Wow. And then I put them through 2 Egnator single 12 Rebel cabinets that have 80-watt Celestion speakers on them.
Wow.
I tend to get a pretty good result out of low-watt Class A tube amps and high-watt speakers.
Sure.
It gives me a good amount of headroom, and they are plenty loud for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
And what at home? What are you using? The same stuff, or do you have
same stuff? Yeah, same stuff. I have the Guitarist hooked up, and I've got I have a 412 box cabinet that I use in the studio and keep at the house, and a 412 Bugera cabinet that I bought at Casino Guitars in North Carolina. I went in there and I was like, "Hey man, this Bugera cabinet's interesting. It says ask for price on it. How much are you selling it for?" And Baxter over there was like, "Well, how much do you want to give me for it?" And I said, "Well, I don't want to totally insult you, but I'll give you like $20." And he shook my hand, and it was in the back of the car. And he said, "I don't know why you offered me so much. You could have offered me $5. I still would have given it to you." So I've got that. Whatever heads I'm using, typically the 2 oranges, and then the Bugeras, and I have a Hot Rod DeVille, a 212 Blackface DeVille.
Sure.
So I've got a few things that I play through at the house, but I really like consistent sound, so I usually just go out of my way to hook up the oranges.
Sure. And are there any pedals in your chain or no?
Yeah, only 5 I have, and that's going to be added to a little bit just to justify a couple things on the record.
Uh-huh.
I really don't like to have a lot going on the ground, but I have Walrus Audio power supply, a Polytune 3 tuner.
Sure.
I have I don't remember, Fulltone says that there's only 4 generation of OCDs. There's actually like 8 of them. I have one of the in-between generation Fulltone OCDs that I just use as a boost.
Yeah, those are great pedals, and a lot of people don't know about them anymore.
I know, man. They really are. I mean, Fulltone, I know that, they have whatever their controversy is, but, they just make really, really great equipment, man.
Absolutely.
And their pedals sound really cool. They have a really interesting pedal that I've been wanting to get for a while. And most people, it's probably totally useless. I think the idea of it's really cool is the Fulltone Waffle, which is it's a stomp box, but you can adjust. It's a wah pedal without
without the pedal
sweep on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can adjust with the knob where in the sweep you want it to be, which is so cool.
Yeah, you might. So Michael Schenker would do that. He would take he would just use it as a knob rather than the sweep.
Oh, really? So he'd just modify his Crybabies, and then that's how he would.
And leave. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. And I think
cool.
I think Dunlop actually makes one also right now.
I'm gonna have to look into that then, because after Fulltone shut down, everything kind of tanked for a minute value wise, and then I've seen it kind of climb a little bit recently. So
yeah,
I'm like, the way that things go and all this.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I don't. You saw the whole thing where everybody found out what circuitry was in those TC Electronics Bad Monkeys.
Yeah.
And now, oh my God, it's a clon, and then people are trying to sell them for like $500. I'm like, dude, you could get these on Reverb for like $20 3 weeks ago.
Exactly. So, anything else besides those few pedals?
Yeah, so I've got the OCD as a boost. I have just a Boss Reverb that I have whatever the specific settings are on that. I have it set to like a spring, and that stays on all night just to. Unfortunately, my one gripe with the Orange amps is that they don't have built-in. Well, at least my Orange amps don't have built-in reverb.
Yeah.
And I really prefer springs. So I run that all night. I have a Boss Octave pedal that I use for a couple things.
Yeah.
That has become one of my favorites. It's such a cool effect, especially when you're doing those really low, nasty solos. It's really nice.
Sure.
And then I have an ABY box that I use at the end of the chain, so I can switch. I have my slide guitar on a cable, and then I typically have all the standard guitars on wireless. And the ABY, I can switch between the wireless and the cable.
Gotcha. And who's the wireless?
I've been using cable-free guitar. Okay. That way I don't have a whole lot of room in the bus to be running any kind of real outboard gear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so cable free is good. It's treated me really well. There's no latency. It runs at like 5.8K, so you don't get like interference from wireless mixers, and it's got an 8-hour battery life.
Wow, that's great.
And they're the same. It's basically the same thing as those X5, the wirelesses that everybody's using, except it's just better. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's treated me very well, man. I'm sticking with them for a while.
And I heard there's acoustic on the record. What kind of acoustic you got?
So I don't run any acoustic on the road. In fact, all the standard and drop songs I have, it's just a volume and tone on these, but it's wired in such a way that I drop the volume and the tone a little bit, and I get a real woodsy kind of thing.
Yeah,
because I'm just working with the 1P90 all night. So as far as the acoustic on the record, though, it was a 1975 Gibson something acoustic that my bass player Will had.
Okay.
And you had to be really careful when you're playing it because the binding falls off when you look at it wrong. So when you're done playing it, you have to pick it up off of your leg and set it down. Like, you can't let it slide off or anything. But I think that acoustic was used on everything on that record acoustically, except for Damned. There's acoustic in the intro of Damned, and that was the Gibson.
Okay.
Somehow we lost the guitar track, the acoustic stem for the rest of the song. It disappeared. So I retracked it on a vocal day using a little Martin Travel acoustic.
Oh, that's funny.
That we had, and it did the job just fine.
Oh, yeah.
My at-home acoustic that I've written most everything on, and I might have used it on like one thing on this record, but it was all over the last one, is a Recording King. A little Dirty 30s Recording King.
Yeah, those are great guitars.
They are, man. Who would have thought? It's like $250.
Exactly.
And they're killer.
Yeah. Yep. You mentioned the Beatles, but like the Beatles don't get you to where you are right now. Who else are your people? You're the people you were listening to when you're growing up.
Oh man. Well, Beatles, Jeff Beck Group, Faces, the Beach Boys. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Spirit and Iron Butterfly. Randy California is a really dope guitar player that nobody ever talks about.
Yep.
All kinds of bands, man. And then as far as newer stuff, I love Cage the Elephant and Tame Impala, and Rival Sons is a band that is really on it. I have but I also grew up on Harry Chapin and a lot of big band stuff I really love. Old Jimmy Durante and Dean Martin and Sinatra and all that. And, I'm pretty wide,
Were your parents?
I grew up on a lot of shit.
Were your parents musical?
Yeah, my dad in particular. My mom grew up kind of playing piano a little bit. Mm-hmm. My dad was in a rock band, in a local rock band in my hometown in the late 60s. It's funny because when I was doing press for the last record and I was, telling people like, my dad was in a band in the late 60s, and the outlets would take that and embellish it a little bit. So all of a sudden, like, my dad would be reading some of these articles and it's making him out to be like this, unsung rock hero, and which we've had a really good laugh about. But he was in a local band where I'm from in the late 60s and playing clubs, every weekend and throughout the week. And
sure.
He was my introduction to all that. And then my mom got me into Fleetwood Mac and REO Speedwagon, and she tried to get me into Air Supply, but that wasn't happening. So,
And so when was the first band you played in? Where was that?
First band I played in was in my hometown, a band that I threw together. It was a 3-piece band of whoever I could find. Mm-hmm. And I had signed myself up for a music festival. It's the first professional thing. I had done little concerts and stuff when I was taking lessons.
Sure, of course.
I signed myself up for a music festival in my hometown and grabbed a couple guys, and we went out there and we did it, and it was actually really cool. It was pretty cool, but yeah, that was I played with trios pretty much my entire career up until about 2 years ago. I hired Warren to come in and start playing keys in my band, and I am never going back to a three-piece, man. Never happening.
You've mentioned your hometown a few times. What town was it?
I am originally born in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Okay.
But I'm out of Jacksonville now.
Okay. All right. The humid territories.
Oh yeah, it's it's different when you're there and you grew up in it a little bit, but no, it's hot, dude. It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. When you're not playing music, what do you do for fun? I mean, you're all set to play tonight, but like tomorrow, what are you doing?
Well, tomorrow I'm driving.
Oh.
But I mean, it's when we're on it, what I do for fun on the road and what I do for fun at home is definitely apples and oranges. I'm a pretty outdoorsy guy.
Okay.
So I'm kind of a beach bum. I like to surf. I spend a lot of time out in the woods. Like to go off road. I like working on cars, so I've got some projects at the house and stuff that
What's your car?
take up space. So back home, I've got a '83 Jaguar XJS 12.
Wow.
That was my granddad's car, and it's sort of been the sort of shared thing between a little bit of bonding experience between my dad and I. That particular. Cool. And yeah, man, it's pretty close to all original. The interior's been redone, but everything else is original, and it's a total nightmare to work on.
I can only imagine.
It's a pretty car, man.
It's British engineering.
Yes, overthought and underdelivered.
What about slide? Who are your slide guys?
My slide guys?
Yeah.
My first introduction to slide playing was Joe Walsh.
Sure.
And very, very clean slide player. And I like his approach to it, but his slide approach is similar to his guitar approach, man. I mean, it's you play where you're needed, and when it's time to show out, you just get aggressive with it. And he was really my first guy. I mean, obviously Derek Trucks is absolutely fabulous.
Sure.
And, but really Joe Walsh and Harrison that's really more my style.
Okay.
Thinking more methodically about, I'm not really naturally a slide player, but I like the sound.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I want to come up with parts that I can utilize that. And I'm more methodical in that way. All the Harrison stuff after the Beatles, he's also a criminally underrated guitar player, even when he was with the Beatles. But
sure.
I have to get into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of that is probably a large majority of my.
Yeah, that's great. And
real
so,
slide influence.
While you're in Nashville, do you have time? And you're doing interviews today, but do you have time to stop by Carter's or Groon's? Or are you planning on that?
I probably could today. Today would be my only day. I probably could. I think we might end up doing that. I know that Will, my bass player, and I are going to go out and go get some grub here. So we might go lower the property value down there for a little bit. Who knows?
Right on. Well, it's been wonderful talking to you, Dyer. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad that you're enjoying the record.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Thank you so
playing.
much.
Great playing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And if anybody's curious as to where to grab these guitars, if you go to sunlandguitars.com, SUNLAND guitars.com. These, like I said, are made per order, and they're for sale, and we're about to do a second finish option on these that's going to be like a dark natural mahogany. So,
right on. Oh, and we should say that you to get to you, it's dyerdavismusic.com.
Yes, sir. DyerDavisMusic.com. My schedule is up there.
Yep.
My Bandcamp is up there if anybody wants this album on vinyl, any stickers or anything of the sort, man, we got everything up there. So
right on. When you get out to California, I'm definitely come check you out.
Hey man, we're working on it. It's a pretty big country out here, dude. You know,
that's right. You're on the other side.
There's a lot of people to appease, but yeah, we're working on it for sure. Hopefully, not all that much longer, to be honest with you.
Oh, right on. Well, great talking to you, pal.
Absolutely, man. Likewise.
Yeah. See you later. Bye-bye.
All right. Talk later, man. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Have Guitar Will Travel. You can catch up on all the things I'm doing at thedeadlies.com, and I'm on all the social media platforms as well. And please support Vintage Guitar and all the wonderful things they do, because they do many, many wonderful things for us guitar players. Thanks. Please subscribe. Please tell a friend, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.